should be shared by record contracts for the UAW. And just as we're building an economy of the future, we need labor agreements for the future. It's my hope that the parties can return to the negotiation table to forge a win-win agreement. To continue our active engagement, I'm dispatching 2 members of my team to Detroit, Acting Labor Secretary Julie Hsu and White House Senior Advisor Gene Sperling, both of whom have been involved up to now, to offer.
Biden is also hosting a press conference this week on nutrition and health, the first by the White House since 1969. So this conference will also highlight the need for access to better food, healthier food, and exercise. Over the years, cuts to federal programs, coupled with stigmas over welfare and big changes to how food was made, has also caused a decline in access to food. According to the FDA, around 10% of households in the United States have suffered from food insecurity, meaning they were certain they would not get enough food to feed themselves or their family because they lacked money. And under the White House plan, SNAP program eligibility will be expanded. Children will get better access to free meals, and summer benefits will be extended to more school children.
This is the gentleman from Connecticut. Seek recognition.
Rise and extend my remarks and to compliment you, Madam Speaker Bordeaux, on your service to this great nation of ours. I have very much enjoyed the privilege and honor of serving with you. I also wanted to rise and thank the clerk's office for all the work that you do day in and day out. Pardon?
Is the gentleman seeking to address the House for 1 minute?
Yes, I am. I seek to
objection, the gentleman is
revise and
recognized
extend
for
my
1 minute.
remarks and repeat again, Madam Speaker, how much I have enjoyed working with Speaker Bordeaux and for her service to her country.
I know many Americans have been anxiously waiting for Congress to approve new pieces of legislation that will boost the monthly benefit payments. Nearly 9 in 10 Americans ages 65 and older currently receive the Social Security benefits, and the program represents an important source of income for the vast majority of those beneficiaries. So for that reason, many seniors on Social Security are awaiting 2 important pieces of information. The first is the COLA for 2023, and the second is the Medicare Part B premium for 2023. The Social Security Administration implements a COLA each year to protect the buying power of benefits from inflation, but the Social Security Administration system is not perfect, and for instance, they enacted a 5.9% COLA in 2022, but inflation has topped 5.9% every month since that decision was made, meaning seniors effectively took a pay cut this year. On the bright side, the Senior Citizens League estimates that seniors will receive an estimated 8.7% of COLA in 2023. That's the largest COLA in the last 40 years. In that scenario, the average retired worker will receive an extra $145 a month. However, the official COLA cannot be calculated until December, and so inflation data is not available yet. The average monthly Social Security benefits for retirees was recently around $1,600, or about $20,000 per year, and that average is around $1,700, and so this is plenty of money for people to collect for fuel and pay their bills. But a new proposal would also change the way the benefits are calculated and potentially putting more money into the pockets of beneficiaries. Democratic Representative John Larson has introduced a legislation called Social Security 2011. Its new bill, everybody, would also, among other things, would discontinue the use of the CPIW to determine your Social Security benefits. Instead, the bill would also change the calculations based on the Consumer Price Index for elderly, which places greater emphasis on the cost for food, housing, medical and apparel and medical care. The bill would also provide a benefit bump for current and new Social Security beneficiaries, including those who are receiving retirement, disability, or dependent benefits. The Department of Finance is now working on getting relief for the next round of people who may have been exempt from filing due to income level, pension, or Social Security. Many economists, as well as the Fed, noted the bank's newfound caution following the turmoil would likely drag on the economy. The high cost of living is causing financial headaches for millions of people. That is why many states and cities have approved new relief. There is a $5 million fund from which Americans could get much needed $500 stimulus checks. Everybody, listen up. It's important now. This is happening in the state of Missouri, specifically in St. Louis, and the checks are directed at families with low income. The mayor, who was one of the most people affected by this crisis, said that the people in the city and state have already a plan to send cash to hundreds of families, if not thousands, who are going through a tough time. The bill was presented and is calling for the state to spend $5 million in funds that are coming from the federal crisis stimulus package. They're urging the federal government to agree on sending $500 monthly payments to local families for the next year and a half. This idea is for this program to begin as soon as possible, and its approval will go into 2024. Now, the program is not approved yet, but a green light would mean that eligible people will be with low income, who are either parents or guardians of children in public city schools, and it's a great chance for the city of St. Louis to offer support for working families and their children. The Nebraska governor has also made some school aid and tax cut plans to keep on rolling this week, as lawmakers give a strong thumbs up to a package of property tax changes worth more than $3 billion over the next 6 years. The bill introduced by the senator would increase Nebraska's 2 property tax credit program, cap school property tax growth, and eliminate almost all community college property tax. The package represents the second piece of Governor Pillen's plan to advance this bill. The first piece would cut the state's top income tax rate by 1/3 and make other income tax changes possible. The governor said the property tax package would provide substantial property tax relief for everyday Nebraskans. And last August in the state of Maine, a new law took effect aimed at giving relief to the homeowners who have watched inflation and demand drive up their property values and thus their taxes.
For a bad batch of water. The system then was, paused, distributing more water into the system in an effort to have a better chemistry or a better jar test of what they were producing. And so that meant that the residents were draining what was left at that point in the clear wells. This is happening, at a time where we have support with the state there, at the water treatment facility. We welcome their support with open arms. Because we believe that our residents are worthy.
There is a new monthly eligible benefit raise. Lawmakers have agreed to provide a boost to beneficiaries. This might be worth up to $200 of financial aid. But some Americans in several states may not be eligible to receive this stimulus check. Gas prices are down, inflation is dropping very high, and the cost of food is going up. The price of food in America, everybody, rose more in the past year than has at any time since 1979. Inflation has driven up supermarket bills so much that in some cases, it's more economical to dine in a restaurant than it is to shop and cook. Grocery store prices have increased more steeply because they're more directly impacted by rising food costs and supply chain issues. While the restaurants, the cost of ingredients is only a small part of the bill. Spending on food stamps has increased by $53 billion and 90% increase in the 2 crisis years. By comparison, that's how much the entire program cost in 2009 during the recession. Spending on the SNAP program grew from 88% for an estimated $60 billion in 2019 to $113 billion in 2021. Spending on the SNAP program had previously peaked at $80 billion in 2013 before declining for the next 6 years. And the average monthly benefit per person increased 68% from $130 per person to $217 per person. That's from 2019 to